boy was shocked to discover that the pure and innocent girl he met after transferring schools was actually the male friend he used to play with in childhood. Now she was not only as beautiful as a blooming flower, even her voice had become so captivating.
よろしくね、霧島くん。
Jack had a very close friend when he was a child, but because he had to move away, the two of them had no choice but to part ways. Seeing his crying and reluctant to leave, Jack hooked pinkies with his, promising that even if they could never meet again, their friendship would still remain unbreakable. Unexpectedly, those words turned out to be prophetic. In the 6 or 7 years that followed, Jack truly never heard anything from his, until one day, because of his parents' job relocation, Jack transferred to a high school in the capital. After giving a brief self-introduction, the teacher assigned him to an empty seat in the back row, but to his surprise, the girl sitting next to him had the same name as his childhood playmate. This made Jack involuntarily think of his childhood playmate. Just as he was lost in his memories, the voices of the classmates around him pulled him back to reality. They were all curious about where Jack used to live. After learning that he came from the countryside, they then asked whether he had ever had a girlfriend. Jack immediately denied it. In a place like that, let alone having a girlfriend, it was hard enough just to find someone his age. But he did have one good buddy, whose personality was carefree and rough around the edges, often doing things most people couldn't understand, like a mischievous little monkey. But right after he said that, Lisa, sitting beside him, snapped her pen in half. Facing the surprised looks of the 6 or 7 classmates nearby, she awkwardly pretended nothing had happened, and immediately turned her attention toward Jack. He clearly said it was an important friend, so why did he describe the person in such an embarrassing way? Jack could only force a smile. He explained that it was precisely because they were so close that he dared to make that kind of joke. After hearing this explanation, Lisa finally turned her head away in a tsundere manner. Seeing her looking upset, Jack mistakenly thought his earlier words had angered Lisa. In any case, he needed to find a way to talk to her, but just as Jack was about to speak, a student council member suddenly called Lisa away. Seeing that he had missed another chance, Jack could only sigh helplessly. But at that moment, a male classmate approached him. He said Lisa was widely recognized as an unattainable beauty, not only excelling academically and being kind-hearted, but also outstanding in athletics. If you want to get close to her, you'd probably have to line up past number 800. Jack agreed after hearing this. Although the girl in front of him had the exact same name as his childhood friend, her personality and appearance were completely different. Besides, she really did look like a girl. Thinking this, Jack let go of his doubts. Seeing that it was already noon, he planned to find a quiet place to eat lunch, but unexpectedly, he ran into Anna, who was tending to the plants. Seeing that she seemed to be having trouble, the warm-hearted Jack decided to step forward and help. Because he had lived in the countryside for 6 or 7 years, he was quite knowledgeable about flowers, fruits, and vegetables. He not only answered all her questions, but also kindly taught her how to care for each type of plant. However, just as Anna was looking at him with admiration, Lisa suddenly appeared behind them with a dark expression, her face carrying a hint of coldness. She then used the club needs help as an excuse to make Anna leave naturally. After watching Anna's figure disappear, Lisa immediately leaned in and mocked Jack.
ああいう子が好みなのかな、霧島くんは。
いや、それは、ナンパじゃなくて、似てたんだ。
似てた？一体誰に？
あ